Hey football fans, welcome back to another edition of Under Further Review. In these segments, I'll be giving you a quick look at each team going into the 2013 season. I'll be talking last season, the off season, the draft, positions, and can they make the playoffs. Today I'll start my coverage on the NFC North teams, and first up on the board we have the Chicago Bears. Let's look at what happened last season. The Bears went 10-6. They didn't make the playoffs. They fired Lovie Smith. Brian Urlacher gets cut and retires as a Bear. And the offensive played poor most of the season, while the defense proves then again every year why are they our top 5 defense, which is unbelievable to me. The offseason. Well, lots of interesting things have been shuffling around for the Chicago Bears. Let's start with the new head coach, Mark Trestman. Who's this guy? Never heard of him. Guess he's been coaching with the Montreal Alouettes in Canada for the past 5 years in the CFL. He's had some success in the CFL, I guess, and he's not completely foreign to the NFL, and he's been coaching since '85 as the Minnesota Vikings running back coach. Apparently he's got a great offensive mind and usually gets the best out of his QBs. There's also a total of 16 new coaches that will be joining Trestman, and this year also means there are changing in Chicago, so a lot of seems to be rebuilding. The defense will play a 4-3, and the offense will play a hybrid West Coast offense. The offensive line, I think, will improve with Jerome Bushrod protecting Jay Cutler's blind side that they got from New Orleans. The biggest thing I think that happened last year to the Bears this offseason was that the end of an era with middle linebacker Brian Urlacher. For 12 long years, I mean, this man was the face and heart and soul of this Bears franchise for the past 12 years. So, as a Packers fan, I'm really going to miss him watching him play, and with no question, he will be a Hall of Famer, and he will go down as one of the greatest linebackers of this era. My question is, who takes over from here? Who is the face of this franchise? Is it Jay Cutler? Probably not. My favorite picks from the draft. Well, I wasn't too impressed with first-round pick Kyle Long from Oregon. He seemed to be a reach for the Bears, but then probably they didn't think they could land him in later rounds, so that's why they picked him. I did like second-rounder linebacker John Bostic from Florida and tackle Jordan Mills from Louisiana Tech. Bostic could possibly take the place of Urlacher, but let's not get carried away here. I do think he could have a significant impact on the defense if he can land a spot. I only see positives from this guy, though, who seems very athletic, has a fast foot, and great tackler. Jordan Mills, I like because he fits the needs of the Bears O-line. That is his definite need for this just half mediocre offensive line. So, and boy, do the Bears just need to get that figured out. So I kind of like that pick for the Bears also. Positions. Quarterback. I always seem to know more Bears fans than Packer fans for some reason, and when I get into it with Bear fans, I only need to say 2 words. Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler makes the fans cringe, and that's because he has only one playoff win, and his production seems to always be inconsistent. I think this is going to be a make it or break it year for Cutler, who needs to get this team to a playoffs. This year. It has to be this year. His QB rating fell from 81.3, and he threw 19 touchdowns with 14 picks. This was part of an offense that ranked 28th overall and 29th in passing. So this guy needs to get it done now that he has solid left tackle blocking his blind side and has the weapons at wide receiver. No excuses for Cutler, obviously. There's 11-year-old pro Josh McCown who's backing up Cutler. I would also try to emphasize more reps with the younger guy Matt Blanchard, but all in all, the most important thing is Cutler needs to stay healthy and lead the team to the playoffs. Running backs. I really like Matt Forte, as last year he ran for 1,094 yards with 5 touchdowns. He runs the ball very well from the inside to the outside and is sometimes used as receiver threat. So he really does it all for the Bears, and I hope the Bears can use him more in the passing offense more. I also like Michael Bush as the backup, who can definitely help and pick up the load if Forte goes down. He's more of a short yardage back because of his big size, so I like the Bears 1-2 punch here at running back. Wide receivers. Brandon Marshall tore it up last year. I mean, the man was just a machine. He had 118 catches for 1,508 yards and 11 touchdowns. Whoa. Second to him was Matt Forte. Where are the other receivers? Earl Bennett and Alshon Jeffrey had almost identical numbers that were way far away from Marshall. So there needs to be a threat, or at least a second threat, other than Marshall that needs to help out. So I think Jeffrey can fill that void, even though last year it was kind of disappointing. And I think he just needs to step up and prove that he can be that guy. There also is tight end play that has kind of fallen off the map over the years. So them signing Martellus Bennett from the New York Giants should have a huge impact on the offense. Offensive line. Jerome Bushrod will help Jay Cutler a lot on his blind side and will definitely improve this offensive line. Also will guard Matt Slauson, who seems to be a solid start somewhere. What the Bears should be worried about is Gabe Carimi, who seemed to fail at right tackle last season, and along with Jamarcus Webb, who didn't par up at left tackle. Another concern is center Roberto Garza, who is just getting old. These three guys need to hold up their weight in order for this line to help up the offensive numbers. So I'm not sure if first-round draft pick Kyle Long will play this year, but I expect him to be a developmental role, kind of a draftee into somewhere he can fit in the line. Defensive line. Julius Peppers, Corey Wooten, Stephen Pia, and Henry Melton are a tough unit. There isn't really much to say other than they've just dominated at this position on defense, and I think they can easily rack up 20 sacks this year just from the line. Nothing but positive signs I see here. Linebackers. Well, this corp takes two huge blows, losing Urlacher and Nick Roach this offseason, but they still have 7-time Pro Bowler Lance Briggs. Taking over middle linebacker this season probably will go to DJ Williams from the Broncos and James Anderson from Atlanta to replace Roach. Only problem I see here is that these guys are in their 30s, so the Bears need to get ready to replace these guys with some younger talent soon. We might see John Bostic play this year, and along with Kashim Green as the backups. Secondary. Along with a strong front and a decent linebacking corps, the Bears have their work cut out with them with this secondary. Let's see. You have 2 Pro Bowl cornerbacks in Charles Tillman and Tim Jennings, and they're not stopping their production here, folks. These guys are absolutely fantastic. The play out of them they get is just unbelievable. Major Wright, on the other hand, looks solid at strong safety, and so does Chris Conti at free safety. This secondary is without a doubt the best in this division and probably the top 3 in the league. So I expect the fumbles, forced, and interceptions to be very high from this unit. Special teams. Kicker Robbie Gould should be okay after missing the final 3 games last season due to injury. He is a solid kicker, and his kicks have been actually getting longer, and his accuracy has been getting better with his old age. Now, where the heck is Devin Hester? Where is the high-flying performance guy that was returning kicks all the past 5 years? Well, we didn't really see that last year, but where is he? He needs to get back to his old punt kick returning touchdown ways. Can they make the playoffs? Now, the competition in this division is insane. Green Bay won the division last year, with the Vikings earning a wild card spot. The Lions made the playoffs just 2 years ago, and looks to bounce back this year. The Bears haven't made the playoffs since 2010, so this is why I'm going to say yes to the Bears. Yes, you will probably make a playoff spot this year. But I don't know still. I really don't know. The race is just crazy for the wild card spot this year. You have Atlanta and the Saints in the South Division, and then you have the Seahawks and the 49ers in the West Division, plus a few upcoming teams that I like are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the St. Louis Rams. So, this is the season, Bear fans. I think you'll get to actually see what Jay Cutler really, really looks like now that his blind side is protected with Jerome Bushrod on his left tackle. And hopefully he can find another receiver, maybe with Alshon Jeffrey or Earl Bennett. But obviously, this team desperately needs to make the playoffs this year, or the water will be boiling in the Windy City, obviously. Like I've said before, no excuses for Cutler. No excuses. He has to win. And if he doesn't get it done, don't be surprised if the first round pick in the next year's draft will be a quarterback. And with that, my football fans, is my review of the Chicago Bears. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe or leave any comments below. And the next team I will be taking up on my next video will be the Detroit Lions. See you later.